At this time, we will call this meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Anson? Here. Trustee Doro?
Here.
Trustee Myers?
Here.
Trustee Walschlager?
Here.
Trustee Lutke?
Here.
Trustee Connor?
Here.
President Pfannerstill?
Here. If you'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any, at this time in the meeting, we have public comments for items that are not on the agenda. If anybody would like to speak for items that are not on the agenda. Our first item on the agenda is a consideration of a motion to approve the village board minutes from the June 10th, 2019 meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Next item we have is a consideration of a motion to approve the vouchers for payments in the amount of $290,198.74.
I make the motion to approve the payments for $290,198.74.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to pay the vouchers. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Abstain.
That motion is carried. We have now consideration and actions related to licenses and permits. On our list, we have first being bartenders, operators licenses that expired June 30th, 2020. This is for Rachel Brockich, Rebecca Rebholz, Amilcar Alakan, Colin McBride, and Caitlin Clara Osterman.
I make a motion we approve the bartending license. I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve those licenses. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Those licenses are granted. That is carried. Next, we have temporary Class B beer wine license for the applicant, Kiwanis of Greater Hartland. The event is Hometown Celebration, the night, Friday, June 28th, 2018.
Also move. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve that temporary license. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. The next is our temporary Class B beer wine license. This is for the applicant is Donate Life and University of Wisconsin Transplant Program. The event is the Palmer's Steakhouse Tent Event on Sunday, August 25th, 2019.
I make the motion we approve the temporary Class B beer and wine license.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the license for the tent event. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. The next, we have a taxi cab license, which expires June 30th, 2020. This is for Lake Country Cares Cab. The address is listed in the packet.
Also move. We approve the license. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the taxi cab license for Lake Country Cares Cab. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That
Abstain.
motion is carried.
Abstain.
Uh,
Abstain.
Next, we have a consideration of a motion to approve the use of the Pawling Avenue Municipal Building lots for a weekly farmers market on Sundays from July 7th through the 22nd.
I make the motion to approve the licensing or the use of the municipal lot for the farmer's market.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the farmers market using the municipal lots from July 7th through the 22nd. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. We now have items that were referred from the June 17th, 2019 Plan Commission meeting. First being the items related to the proposed rezoning of the property at 415 West Capitol Drive. For this, we need to have a public hearing to receive comment on the proposed rezoning from the I-1 institutional district to the RS5 single-family residential estate district. At this time, I will open that public hearing for comment. Seeing that we don't have anybody to speak at the public hearing at this time, I will close the public hearing. And I want to clarify, is this our,
No reading. The reading will be at the first meeting in July. We wanted to make sure with the easement, if you recall, there was
Yep.
that possible easement. so
okay,
we're not
I just
doing a
wanted to
reading.
ask to clarify, to make sure, so everybody's aware that the reading will be at the next meeting, this was just a public
Yep,
hearing.
third and final reading at the next meeting.
Yep, okay. The next item on our agenda is discussion and consideration of a motion to approve a conditional use permit for Hartland South for the operations of a daycare at 651 East Imperial Drive and a parking lot extension. Again, these are items that are referred to from the Plan Commission meeting.
I make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for Hartland Schools for the Lakeside Early Learning Academy daycare.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve that, as stated.
Discussion? Okay. How is it different from our early childhood childcare that we do at the rec? The before and after school care?
My understanding is we provide care. We provide care for for grades 3 through 5th. This is like preschool, infants, little. They have cribs. It's toddlers. It's geared towards teachers who have little ones. It is designed to help encourage to get teachers to come into the school district and to work for the school district. But it's basically like infants up through like the preschool ages. So
6 months to 4 years.
yeah, some preschool, but I mean they have like cribs and teeny tiny furniture and everything that I saw. So it's not gonna conflict with our grades 3rd through 5th. So we should be fine. And I haven't heard anything from them in regards to the effects of that program, which I would by now because they're really good about communicating with us. Okay?
So it's been moved and seconded, unless there's anything else any trustee wants to add. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That conditional use permit is granted. The next item on the agenda is a discussion and consideration of a corridor compact review for an accessory building at 2215 Highway 83 in the city of Delafield.
So with this, we just have a quarter compact between the city, town, and village here, and it gives us authority to look at a project and make sure it would have no impact on the village that might be negative, so it gives us an opportunity, but this is just a building for his clay works. So it's nothing extraordinary.
I think it'll add to the property. It looks nice. I make the motion to approve the plans.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the plans for the building at 2215 Highway 83 in the city of Delafield. Anybody have anything to add? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Next item on the agenda, we have a consideration of a motion to adopt resolution number 62419, a resolution adopting the Compliance Maintenance Annual Report, known as the CMAR.
G, do you want to come up and say anything on it, or are we good? Just the annual report.
This is a report that's required by the DNR. We complete it annually. It looks at both our financial situation of the sewer collection system and the maintenance activities that take place. As we have in the past, we again got a A rating, which means other than the resolution, there's no further action needed. And it takes into account sewer cleaning, televising, lift station maintenance. It was put in place by the DNR to make sure that collection systems are maintaining their system. So if there's any questions.
It's been a year after year, we keep doing very well. do outstanding in it, so, it's a good service for the community.
This has been, God, 15-plus years that we've done this report
Good
for the
job.
DNR.
Yeah, nice job. That was good reading.
Thank you.
Mike.
Thank you.
So I'll make the motion to adopt the resolution number 062419.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to adopt that resolution. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item that we have on the agenda is a second reading of a bill for an ordinance 6102019, an ordinance to repeal and recreate sections 2-26B pertaining to village president and village trustees' pay schedule. That is just a reading. If anybody wants to say anything on it, they can. That second reading has been completed. The next item on our agenda is discussion and consideration of a motion to approve a lease for the property at 352 Cottonwood Avenue for Recreation Department programming.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Yogers. I'm the Recreation Director for the Village of Hartland. Miss Nina Gatos-Fedak approached the village to see if at the end of August 2019, if we would be interested in taking over the lease for her facility. As some of you were on the board when we did our lease agreement with her back in 2016, she offered dance classes through the Hartland Recreation Department. In the memo, we state some of the pros and cons that would be involved. It would help us expand our programming, and as some of you are aware, we already have our bridge class in here, and we're trying to get our bar class over there just to use the space because then we can access their bars. It would provide 3 or 4 years to evaluate whether this is a good investment. If so, the village could continue the lease. If not, then we don't continue the lease. However, we do recognize that there is a financial risk to this. We can program, but they might not come. And we would have to play around with the schedule to make sure that rec and dance classes are both being offered. And it has to be brought up that looking at the numbers, Ryan Bailey and we looked over the numbers last week, and it would be about a $7,500 new revenue we would have to bring in if we just went off of the numbers that we know of from the dance program. And right now she subleases the space for Weight Watchers. We added that in, and then I did also factor in if I had my Bar A class over there I looked at the 2018 numbers as well. So we use those numbers because they're kind of we know what we're getting with it. But the 7,500, we would have to bring in new revenue.
With the, may I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have any questions, please do.
Nina's here.
What? Nina's here?
There's a number in here, and it says, the financial risk addressed in 2018, it says the revenue for TTP classes was $37,551. Is that the total, or is that the
was
village?
the total in our budget. When I looked it up, that 2018 she brought in, but we don't get all of that.
But I wanted to ask, is that number the amount that came in grand total and then gets split up, or did you guys take in 370,000 and that's what came to the village?
That's grand total, and then it gets split up.
So if the
into
village gets 10%, we
our
got
split.
$3,755.
So that's
Yes.
gross, not net revenue.
Correct.
So then but I mean, gross would be the.
We only get 10%
expenses
of that
taken.
number.
We get 10%, the teachers get, I'll let Kelly.
The teachers get 70%. Nina gets 20% of the instructors that teach for her fee as being the director and help with her paying it. For her classes, we give her 90%.
Okay.
Because it's the 70% and then the 20% on top of that. We went in with an agreement of 10%.
But then, based on this, if we assume this, then it changes, that's where the 35%.
Yes, and we
bounces
did 30% because instructors who teach for her would be getting 60% of the fees. Her and Lori, eventually Lori will be taking over for Nina. They would be getting 65% because they would be Nina and Lori would act the role as the dance coordinator and director, coordinating all the classes and everything and getting instructors.
So there's not a guarantee. There's a chance that the village technically could lose money. The rec
Yes.
department could lose money on this.
Yeah, like I said, I can program.
What's the rent per month?
Well, for
It's gonna go up.
It's
Hold
gonna
on,
go
hold on.
up.
I just want to ask
for a
some questions
5-year
here.
lease, it's $2,125 per month from September 2019 through August 2021. And then it goes up from 2,000 up to 2,425 per month from September 21 through August 31st, 2024. For a 3-year lease, it is $2,100 per month from September 2019 through August 2020. And it's $2,400 per month from September 2020 through August 2022.
Right, okay. Does that include the utilities, or is there electric and stuff?
That's all included.
All included.
Yeah. Yeah. We
So
would
it's
have to
2,000
we would have to cover the cost of toilet paper and cleaning and
Right.
all that
Right,
stuff.
so it's $2,425 a month, let's just call it that.
Yeah.
And the village takes in a year, $3,755.
Yeah. Right now with the 10%.
Right,
Yeah,
with the
it would
10%. So
change
even if there was
if
only
we
10
did.
months in a year, we take in, just to round it up, $400 a month. Right now. No, I'm just asking.
I'm thinking.
Oh, no, I don't want you thinking, I'm not blasting you, I'm
Yeah.
I'm running the math, and
Yeah,
obviously I'm doing it
yeah.
publicly, but
Yeah.
right now, we get $400 a month.
Yeah,
About.
roughly. if
But it's
that's math,
2,425 a month, so we would need to make about 6 times the amount we're making to get near breaking even.
That's what we put in there. We put in
The 75
the Weight Watchers, some of the other stuff, and she still would have to come up with $7,500
total
per year.
at the end of the year. That's what we'd have to divide that up
So-
by 12 months.
It's 625.
625.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
The current programs. We went off the current programs. Yes.
Right.
Because that's what we know we have.
The reason I wanted to ask, and I'll yield the floor here in a second. The reason that I wanted to ask for myself is I just wanted to, I think that's, well, I don't want to get too far into discussion, but I wanted to make sure that the things were out there because
Yeah.
I don't, I can't imagine a taxpayer telling me that's a real good idea. With that, I'll yield the floor.
Well, one question I had, I know you came up with this $7,500, but then regardless, I even went with the 3-year, because obviously if there's a risk involved, we want to do a 3-year, and it goes up from 2,100 to 2,400. So really, that's, you add that into the 7,500, the second year, you're up to $11,100. That's a 50% increase in revenue we have to get just to break even year 2 and year 3. So I think you gotta look at some of those as well, just not that first year.
Because if you look at it 3 years, it's what did we like about 20,
Yeah, at least-
22,000 over the 3 years if you just go off the 7,500.
Right.
If
But the
that's
rent
how it
goes up.
stays. Yeah, but rent goes up.
$300, so that's 3,600.
Yeah.
3,675. That's a 50% increase. Now, year 2, 3, 4, it's $11,100 is the minimum we have to come up. And the other question I had, just based off of there over the years 2016, 17, 18, how has the revenue progressed? Is it a 10% increase every year, 20%? Does it seem kind of, or is there that data available?
Yes, hold on. In 2016, we only offered the classes from June through end of December, because that was when she first took over the lease in June 2016. And that's when we started partnered. That was when our agreement went into effect and everything. She made $16,360. In 2017, she made $35,299. In 2018, she made $37,531.
And this is a takeover of a lease. It's not like a lease is ending and a new one's starting, correct?
She, Her
the lease up
lease
at the-
is up at the end of
End of
August
August.
2019.
Okay. Why not just let it go?
Well, I guess it was a new concept, and so I'd owned To The Point for 29 years.
Oh, yeah, can you
And-
state your name?
I'm sorry, I'm Nina Gatos Fedak,
Thank you.
and I'm the director, and my daughter knows you. You guys went to Arrowhead together. I've lived in Hartland since 1979. It's been a long time. So, no, this is something that I did after I left GE, and we do dance education. It's not just dance classes. So we have a National Honor Society for Dance Art. Just in the past year, we started a dance troupe for special populations. So been working with Robin Lyons in the schools and getting more and more kids in there for that. And then we have our own dance company. And so we're heavily involved with, we want to, with the kids, with the community. And I do it because I've been dancing since I was like 4. And so I love it. And I wanted to share that. And the quality of teachers that we have, one of them they all have degrees in dance. We all have degrees in dance. And then one went back and got her teaching degree. Another one has a degree in psychology. So it's a really well-rounded, so we do a good job with the kids and we know how to handle it. And we would like to offer, I've been working with Silverado with their memory patients. And so we use brain dance concepts for that. That's something I'd really like to bring more into the community centers also. It's just a difficult sell, so I'm trying to, form the pathways to the various centers around here and senior communities and trying to get that done. But that would be something else that could be in that space that would be, beneficial. Why not leave it go? I mean, we could. We just have a successful program, just we have kept the fees lower. We lowered them quite 40% when we came and did it in the community. So it's time where we can raise those fees, probably, potentially $1 or $2 a class. And when we have, I don't know how many classes we have, 20 some.
Yeah, I haven't enrolled in
So,
numbers.
and with our population going up little by little, that would probably help close that gap. And to me, it seems just because ever since we've lived here, we've heard about, we should look at a community center. There was that field down on KE, or near KE, by the
Wayside.
yeah, the Wayside, right. And, so that's not happened. Different ideas have fallen through. So this can be like a stopgap measure to that and give Kelly the opportunity to bring more programs in that I think want to come in, and there's just not the room for them or the facility.
What is the square footage?
It is about 2,100, the floor space. There is additional space outside of that, carpeted space. There's an office area and the lobby, so.
And that's just net, not triple net.
Right, everything's included in the 2,100. There's like $200 set aside for the utilities and things like that, and the rest of it is rent.
But when she gave us the lease, she put the 200 right in there automatically.
Right.
Yeah, but boy, it worked the way with the opening and stuff that's open here. Yeah, coming in with a customer comes in with a 5-year lease. I just can't believe that they can't get a 5-year lease for the same price. I mean, I looked around in that area over there and it was crazy. They want to have, it was triple nets, which means you pay taxes, you pay rent, you pay every utilities. But you don't have that. But the idea that setting a 5-year lease, a commitment of how many dollars are we doing for that length of time, we can't get one lease payment?
Kelly? Oh, sorry. Are you done?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm questioning the bar program that you said that money could be, it would be a better program. And I do know that you have certain constraints here where you can put those bars, and you've been running into that. But it's a program you've been running, so that money's actually already been accounted into your budget. So
Yes.
I almost see like that's just taking money from here and putting it here.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's not,
Yeah.
really, we need to generate completely new money to
Yes.
make this more.
Yeah, and she did give me, I asked the instructor to give me some ideas, and what she could offer, yoga lattes, kickboxing, a more difficult yoga level than we've been offering. So those are just some of the classes that she would
Have we done
offer.
any research on what the market demand is for that, for those types of courses? I mean, especially with, having an athletic club and some of the other athletic
I have
facilities?
not.
Okay.
I didn't have time to get too involved in this, so.
I would think that there's other open warehouse or open space that would be willing to work with the village, and something like that. And that's just a big kick. I mean, how many people?
I can say it plain and simple for you.
Well,
Should the village of Hartland pay $2,025 a month for a dance studio that's 2,100 square feet subsidized by the taxpayers? That's the question on the table. I can't.
No.
There's no way.
It's just, I can't believe we can't find another facility, if that's the case.
We
If it's
can,
a-
we
if it
can,
is,
we can, it's not that we went, they came to us.
right.
Our rec
Okay, I
director
understand.
didn't go to them. No, I'm just letting you know, our rec director didn't
Okay.
go to them. They came, the people that are doing that, I'm sorry that I don't remember the last name. Nina came to Kelly. It was not vice versa.
No, Nina, it's a great program. My daughter went there many years ago, and it's a great program, but sometimes, you gotta look at the business aspect of it as far as location and get facilities. I mean, that's gotta work with you. I mean, you come to a business, an owner that has a bill and say, hey, we're gonna lease this for 5 years. That's a lot of money, so.
And just so you know, I mean, I'm actually phasing out. Doug's been retired for almost 2 years, and I'm going there over the next 12 to 18 months. So it's a transition period for me. So I'm not doing it for myself. I'm really doing it for the community and the people that have been with us and have brought more people in over the last, not just 3 years, but for a long time. So.
Right. Thank you.
Sure.
I don't know if anybody has anything that they need to add, but pretty soon.
No, I just look at-
If someone's gonna make a motion, they can't, you
No, just one last thing, just to kind of solidify this, I guess. I mean, we're saying, minimum of $7,500, not knowing what new programs would bring in. 11,000, as I said, for the next year, but just looking at the numbers from 16, 17, 18, even if it was 6 months, so you extrapolate that out for a year, it comes out to 32,700. Next year was 35,300, so that was only about a 10% increase, so $3,000. And to 18, it only went up about $2,200. So status quo, we're not even, a third of the way to what we need additionally. So we definitely have to generate a lot more business in there.
Yep. Not to
make
mention
that
two
happen.
huge things. I've had businesses that saw it on the agenda, business owners that have saw it on the agenda, that take it as, how can you subsidize one activity when you're taking away from businesses? Because that's what, you're taking away from the private sector. Secondly, you're not taking into account that someone that's done it for life and is so dedicated and so passionate about it, there's no guarantee that there's not going to be a drop in attendance. So that 7,500 number even grows, that gap. So, but if someone wanted to make a motion, they can at this time. But a person doesn't have to make a motion not to do anything. So it's just to let you know, usually you would make a positive. So if
Right,
someone
so
wants to
maybe
make a motion to
positive
do it,
Right.
they could. Otherwise, we can just move to the next item on the agenda. Unless someone's going to make a motion to do it.
If we don't, then it just dies.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't call it dead.
Well, I
It's not
understand.
dead.
Just not going to be approved.
All right, with that, we will move, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kelly.
We will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a discussion and consideration of proposal from Lake Country Pedicab. No. Is anybody here for that? No? Well, whatever you guys think. It's in the packet for the public, could have read it. It's not like I'm just saying whatever, but it was in the packet on whether they're filing for a permit. They're not asking to be subsidized by us. They're just asking to be allowed to do so.
We kind of looked at,
We don't really have any code that deals with this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The closest we have is a taxi cab, which doesn't really cover pedicabs.
I would believe that this would fall under solicitor, because they will be going around soliciting, and in my opinion, unless someone disagrees, I would like police department's input along with staff's input. I really don't see a problem with it. My biggest concern with it is with a solicitor's permit, and I'm looking at our interim administrator, because I'm hoping you're gonna back me up on this. we don't know who's gonna be in these. If all of a sudden there's 4 and 5 as they're talking about going around, I think there's gotta be some way to vet these people that are going around the community. I don't know if you have any input on that, but I think for a beginning, it would either be, it gets pushed off and we have to come up with an entire policy, or it just falls under the solicitor's permit and they have to stay on the route that they designated.
Yeah, what we would do, I would talk to our insurance, make sure they're comfortable with everything insurance-wise that they have. We could definitely do a solicitor's permit, background checks, everything associated with it.
Okay.
Did they give you a copy of their liability coverage?
They have not, no. You know, they just, in all of that, those are all things that you could say, you know, we could approve this depending on this,
Yeah,
depending on
okay.
background checks.
So are we basically on lack of information and we have to get that first? Would you feel
Correct.
most comfortable?
I
I'm just,
had-
from a staff level,
That's
would
what
you
I
guys
think.
feel more
I
comfortable with
Yeah,
that?
I'd like more
Yes.
information.
Oh, here, if they,
You know,
no, not yet,
No,
next
it's
month?
just, I would, yeah.
Okay.
I would get information from them first.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, we'll table it before, sorry. I was going to ask you guys to maybe
Robin has a
speak, but
question.
I guess.
Yeah, before we table it, just a couple questions, especially for the public. So, just to clarify, the pedicab, sidewalks, not sidewalks?
That's what we have to figure
Well,
out.
that's what we
Right.
just said, you know,
And
figure out.
then, once we, I just want to clarify that for them, because I don't know if they knew what we were saying,
they're-
so.
Understood.
That would be a
I'm sorry.
discussion that would come up, and then obviously the discussion of safety and where parking and things like that is, so, yeah. And then the map is located if people were interested.
I will see,
Understood.
I will,
Sorry.
I will
Yeah,
reach
no.
out and see if we can have them come to the next meeting to
That
kind of
would
give a
be
present.
Great.
Surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
would
would
think
be
they'd be here tonight.
fantastic.
The fact that they're not here tonight is, they're lucky. Because that plan commission, if you're not there, that's the rules. That's the policy.
I mean, I'm excited about it, I just want to know.
I'm
Same.
more excited than them. We're here. So, with that,
We will reach out. That's it.
you're going to be reaching out to them. They can re-put it on the agenda. If someone wants to make a motion to table or whatever, otherwise we can just let it fall and they can remake. You know, they
Let
can
it fall,
re-request
then
it
we don't
and
have to-
actually have a permit or something.
Yeah. I
So,
think that's better.
I guess the best answer you could give them is it sounds like the board is at least open to discussing it with them as long as they do everything that they need to do and that our staff is to do. The next item we have is discussion and consideration of a motion to accept the resignation of Vicki Mitchell from the Park and Recreation Board. Is she here? No? So we will, everybody can make their determination on their own. The other reason that I'm not, how do I say this? When we received a letter in the village that was saying someone was going to resign from the board, based on some things in the letter and a lack of information on who they were talking about, I don't usually think it's appropriate for those things to be brought forward. It just isn't. If someone wants to write a letter and have a name, just like with anonymous letters, they could come in, but we would be in a world of craziness. We do read anonymous letters if they come to the village, but if an anonymous letter comes in saying Jeff did whatever bad thing, but it was an anonymous letter, you can imagine where not only for our police department, fire department, anybody in the public, there could be so many letters and it could be insane. It could turn into a smear campaign that's not even true, so there's no way to vet the data. But we did receive a letter on whether we want to accept the resignation of that park board member.
And I did reach out and sent her an email asking if there was any further details she would be willing to go into, and I did not receive a response.
Okay, that's a good job.
All right. I guess based on that information, I'd move to accept the resignation of Vicki Mitchell from the Park and Recreation Board.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept that resignation. For the discussion part of it, obviously someone will have to go in that spot, so I'm gonna kind of say to the public, or if there's any trustees that know of people that want to be in there, now would be another time of sending those. I have volunteer forms from having just previously appointed people in April, or brought them forth to the board, but anybody that's interested, citizens, it's a citizen appointment. Please feel free to reach out to the village staff, any of the trustees, and fill out one of the volunteer forms that you're interested.
I just have one clarification. I just
Sure.
want to thank Vicki Mitchell for serving on the Village Park Board.
Absolutely. I think anytime someone is willing to step up and
Volunteer.
serve is, especially volunteering like that, is a great thing. Announcements. I'm sorry, we gotta take a vote on that acceptance. I'm sorry, that was discussion. All in favor of accepting the resignation? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried, that resignation is accepted. At this time, we have announcements. Fire and police are good.
Hometowns this weekend.
Any trustees that have announcements?
Hometowns this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
Hometown this
Exciting.
weekend.
Big
Yes.
weekend.
The village has everything posted. It's really nicely done, of all the different events. So it's exciting.
It'll be a fun weekend.
Big
There's
weekend.
things
And we
planned
have
at
our-
some of the bars around
Our
town too.
dedication on Saturday.
And we have our first banner up,
Yep.
The banner's up.
and
Feel free to send your feedback.
I personally, I'm sure there's kind of restrictions because of the wire on the bottom has to come down to hold it straight, but it seems kind of short.
Oh, we're gonna end up opening that for discussion,
Yep.
because that's a trial run, so everybody in the
Okay.
village
Yeah.
look at it,
I'm
send
just
in
saying
your
that's mine,
feedback.
yeah.
Yep, well, no, we'll end up having it, we'll end
Right,
up.
right.
Yep.
But it looks very nice. I was glad to see it up already.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody
Um,
fell.
Any, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Anything down here? So home, oh, okay.
Stacy Kelsey, PD, obviously. Just a couple things, reminders for people that parking for the fireworks. There's only going to be one direction. Park court will be blocked off, so we won't have it double parked like we have had problems before. The parking lot across the street of Maple Avenue from Nixon Park, no one is allowed to park in there. We've been requested by the owners that nobody parks in there, and that will be chained off. So just so people are aware of that as well. And for the parade, we are going to be shutting the entire parade route down early, like on time, for the bike rodeo. So that usually we leave it open on COTTONWOOD Avenue or North Avenue until the parade gets closer. However, this year we're going to shut it all down right as the parade starts, so the kids riding on the bikes are safe. And then we're just going to leave it shut down.
Can you just clarify for the public's time, the timing of the shutdown of the roads?
Is it 1:15?
1:30.
1:30, we're gonna be out there at 1:15, however, 1:30 is when
Was it 115?
For
Yeah.
stepping off,
the kids,
they're gonna line up at 1:15, stepping off at 1:30.
the kids start at 1:30.
Right.
And then, so that's when we're shutting everything down, but typically, we had left like COTTONWOOD Avenue, North Avenue open for another half hour until the parade gets closer
Yep.
to there. However, this year, it's all gonna be shut down at the start of the parade, and it won't be reopened. We're not gonna reopen that up once we shut that down for the kids.
Thank you for doing that.
Okay?
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So, Friday, this coming Friday, is fireworks. We put a lot into it. It was great the last time we did this. We're looking forward to it. Come out and see the fireworks. It'll be a good time. There are some bands that are going on then, down at the band shell or at the stage at Nixon. The beer garden will be open. It'll be hopping. It'll be a good time. The firework display should be one of the best Hartland has put on, if not the.
Rain date is the next day. If it rains, if you have to cancel, it'll be on Saturday.
Perfect. So the rain date, if the fireworks can't go off on Friday because it's raining, you can still go to the beer garden and drink, but the fireworks are on Saturday. On Saturday, in the morning, you can still contact the village on this, I think, but in the morning is a run. I don't know exactly what time it starts, but if you'd like to do a 5K in the morning on Saturday, contact the village. You can maybe get in on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'll talk about it. Okay.
We're just excited, Ken.
That's awesome. I know, I'm excited for this weekend. All right, so Friday night we do have music. We have the Hartland Community Band. They will be there. And then starting at like 9 o'clock, we have Granny Shot. They're a new band. They'll stop at 9:30 for the fireworks, but then they'll resume afterwards. On Saturday at 8:30, we have a 5K. And then approximately 11:30, we have a rename. I hope you don't mind me doing this.
No, that's fine.
A renaming and dedication ceremony for former trustee Richard Landwehr. It'll be right outside here on COTTONWOOD Avenue, correct? 210 COTTONWOOD Avenue. Come on by. And then Sunday we have our parade at 1:30, and the children's parade is at 1.
You're right, 1:15, we're stepping off.
1:15.
Parade's at 1:30.
Yes, the
Stepping off.
children's portion of the parade is stepping off at 1:15. The parade is stepping off at 1:30.
Right.
But we still have room for the 5K, so
Yeah.
we'll take walk-up registrations. So.
And for the children's, it's a walk-up too. For the children's parade, anyone can walk up with their decorated bikes or whatever. Everybody's welcome.
Yep. All right. I think
So
that's
Friday
it.
fireworks, Saturday you go for a run, come to the front of the municipal building for the renaming. Sunday, you have the children. They can decorate their bikes, wagons, anything like that. You can call the village and they'll let you know where to line up exactly. If you are in the parade, you can call the village for details on that. You should have already gotten a packet, but we'll have a good weekend and it'll be obviously Lake Country's kickoff to Independence Day. So we're always happy to be the first and hope to see everybody out and hope everybody's safe. And if you're drinking, walk.
Yes.
I'd like to encourage the public to sign up for our construction e-notifications. There's a lot of good information trying to be put out there, not just for the paving and utility projects, but the tower painting, the street painting, and any other construction project that we run into that may impact the public. We'll put out a notification so that they have information on that.
You want to touch base on the bridge and the
Yeah,
lights for the public, please?
The walk bridge behind Palmer's will be removed and reset on Wednesday. And Tuesday night, from roughly 10 to 4 in the morning, we're going to be painting the parking spots downtown. West of North Avenue and Cottonwood will be Tuesday night, and south of East Capitol will be Tuesday night. Wednesday night will be the other sides of the street. We're trying to do it at night to minimize the disruption of the parking.
Sure.
Obviously, weather permitting.
I'm sure that the businesses and the patrons appreciate that.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you tell them how to sign up for that email, construction email?
You go to our website, and Darlene, is that under?
There's a link on the homepage of the website when you scroll down that says notify me, and there's an opportunity to sign up for several different listings that the village offers and pushes out. So it's really
Including
easy. You
parking
can-
restriction for
Correct.
winter parking.
And recreation, you can get text or email alerts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Whenever you're ready.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. All in favor? Aye. This meeting's adjourned. See you all this weekend.